Hey guys, welcome to the new and improved studio. Things are a little bit all over the place, so you're gonna have to bear with me. And this is not gonna be a nice video. I think it looks nice, but I'm here to rant. And while I rant, let's see if I can put on a full face of brands that I'm not currently pissed off at. Yeah, hold on to your seats. So let me first start off by saying that I understand that brands have a bottom line to consider. And right now, that's tough in this economy. Okay, I get it. They need to make decisions based on what's going to keep them in business. And there have been times where I actually, look, you guys, this is a channel where I keep it real with you. And sometimes I have compromised my morals because I couldn't afford to let my conscience rule my wallet. Let's put it that way. We're going to get into it. But what I'm talking about right now is, from this point on, I will not be purchasing, featuring, tagging, or promoting anything from cosmetics, Profusion cosmetics, or Sheglam, which is the cosmetics beauty side of Shein. So getting that out of the way, that compromises about 65% of my daily wear makeup. And anything that you see posted that does not have this background means that it was filmed before I learned what's going on. So that's what we're doing today. I have a couple of new products to show you guys, so I will try to incorporate those as I go. But let's just get into it. I am out of the shower. Even though it is officially spooky season, it is still hot as balls here in Central California. So I am in my nice little swimsuit, and just bear with me. So let's get this face cleaned. Let me grab my products. I have actually organized, you can't see it, but I've got a 3-drawer storage unit over here. The top has my toners, my micellar water, my setting sprays, that sort of thing. And then the first drawer has my complexion products and contours, bronzers, blushes. The second drawer has all of my eye makeup, and the third drawer has all of my lip products. So hopefully things won't be quite as chaotic going forward. I still have my brushes and tools on my desk, and then there's still some more chaos off to the side that you can't see. I also added a third light, so hopefully the lighting is better and thus the video quality. Again, bear with me, and hopefully things get better from this point on. So let's just do this thing. I am still an amateur. Things are not immediately going to get better, but every time I make a change, I feel like I get, 5% better, which I don't know. When I was younger, I feel like I could learn something right away, just like, master it. But my learning curve has slowed down. I am 43. Let's remind everybody that might be new. And so my learning curve is more of a, a hill. It's not a mountain anymore, but it's okay. I'm putting in the work, and hopefully it shows. Hopefully you guys can see that I'm trying. I put out my first original makeup transition. I did a little something, for Christmas, but it was just like some splices of things. It wasn't really a transition. And, I was really hoping that I'd get more feedback on it. I actually did kind of send it out to a couple of influencers that I really admire. Not like the massive people, but just like not small. I don't know what the numbers are, like who's a micro influencer, who's a small one, whatever, but not the massive ones, hoping that they could take my idea and then run with it, make it really good, because I thought it was a unique idea. I was using cover instead of the actual big song, and nobody got back to me. I mean, I didn't really expect it, but I hoped. But I am getting better. So let me tell you what is going on. I think people in the beauty world know what's going on with e.l.f. Cosmetics, but my viewers are mixed. I think some of you are out there just because you're my friend, and thank you, I love you for that. Some of you are out there because you like my activism, either political or because I speak up for the disabled community. Some of you might just like me because you like my makeup, and then some of you are here for the beauty space, and then some of you might just think I'm pretty, and thank you. So here's the Cliff Notes version. e.l.f. Cosmetics is a drugstore brand that prides themselves on affordable products, and recently they've gotten into being a brand that gets into a more activist space. They've done campaigns where they point out how many female executives they have, they promote causes that they donate to, that sort of thing. And they've always been very open about things. It's not somebody might pull their records and notice where a donation's been. It's been on the front page of their website type of things. So they've always been the type of brand that creates a parasocial relationship with their audience, with their customers, and that's how they drive sales. It's if you want, why am I so red? Goodness. It feels like they're more of a person than they are a makeup company, right? I'm buying this blush instead of this blush because I support who they are as a brand, right? And so recently, they've gotten into some hot water because somebody that they cast in one of their commercials. And that person is comedian Matt Rife. And I say that because while I did, at first I jumped on the train. I thought his interactions off the cuff with his audience were funny. And I think he came to be popular sort of at the tail end of the pandemic when all of us were kind of starved for human contact. And his sort of thing was, I used to be awkward and ugly, and then I hit the gym, and now I'm hot, right? And he would most of his shows off of riffing with the audience. He had a bit of a set, but it was really just that interaction. Often he would take somebody's phone and scroll through and just kind of make jokes on that. But one of the specials he had, I think on Netflix, he did have a set of jokes, and one of them got him in a lot of hot water. Trigger warning for jokes about domestic violence. Skip ahead if this is something that affects you. I know it does affect me, so if you're in that camp, please move ahead if you need to. So one of his jokes was about going into the city for one of his shows and going to a restaurant with a buddy of his, and the hostess had a noticeable black eye. And he made a joke about, why is she the face of the restaurant? They should put her in the back or something like that. Wait, sorry. I guess he had pointed out the black eye, and the buddy he was with said, oh, you know, maybe they should put her in the back. And Matt Rife had said, oh, well, if she could cook, she wouldn't have the black eye. Yeah, absolutely tasteless, just disgusting. And it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, as it should. And so it sort of became the face of tasteless jokes. And of course, he immediately was like, I was just testing the waters to see if you were going to be a fun audience, right? I wanted to see how far I could take jokes like this. And in fact, I think it was just yesterday that I saw one of the influencers that I follow on Facebook, Professor E.l.f, had done a reel on domestic violence jokes, and where, how do I phrase this? On when dark comedy can be funny and when it's not. And he pointed out that it can be funny when it's at the expense of the abuser, when it's punching up, phrasing, I know, and not punching down. So if it's at the expense of the person who's been abused, i.e. the waitress or the person in the video that Professor E.l.f was doing, in that case it was his wife, then it's not funny. You're making fun of the victim and just saying, oh, it's just a joke. Well, if it was a joke, you wouldn't have to explain that it was a joke, right? So it was kind of the thing, you know? And so you wouldn't think that a makeup brand, E.l.f, would think, oh, this is the perfect guy to put in a makeup ad, when the largest purchasers of makeup, especially drugstore priced makeup brands, would be Matt Rife, a comedian that makes domestic violence jokes. And then commercial with him, they cast Heidi in Closet, who is a drag queen who became popular on RuPaul's Drag Race. And so the commercial itself featured two men. And I'm not saying that, you know, Heidi in Closet was a bad choice. Drag queens obviously wear a lot of makeup. And in fact, some of the product, oh, this one right here. I actually learned about this product here, facial antiperspirant, that I use when I have outdoor events in the summer, from a drag queen. So actually, she isn't the worst, you know, person to do for certain things. But in this case, just men in the ad seemed a little off. And so immediately there was backlash. And as a DV survivor, as somebody who spent a couple weeks in a domestic violence shelter, excuse me, I'm not down with that. So I do have products from E.l.f that I will still use because of the sunken cost theory. I will no longer be pointing out that I'm using them if I need to use a product in a video. I will not hold it up. I will not tag them. And from this point on, I will not be buying more product from E.l.f. I don't think it's okay. I will not be telling them it's okay by buying products. So that's that. That's E.l.f. A lot of people already knew about that one, so it's not that, you know, I'm saying anything new. In fact, I'd mentioned them briefly in another video. So what's going on with everybody else? So the next one hurts. Next one hurts a lot. This is the one that I was crying about, and not necessarily because I can't buy or use their products. It's not that. It was the time I've spent trying to create a relationship. It's the fact that it made me realize that I've been a bit of a hypocrite in certain ways. And just it hurts when you realize that you have been doing something that goes against your morals and not realizing it. Because I pride myself on doing the right thing. I pride myself on being an advocate, on being an activist, and I messed up. And when I do that, I get on myself very hard. And Thursday, I had actually planned on making this video. This is Saturday as I'm recording it, and I couldn't. I actually found out very early Thursday morning, so like 1:30 in the morning, and I felt physically ill. I was talking to a guy I've just recently met. We're not going to go into that because I'm on the fence with him. He seems nice, but I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I got physically ill. So, okay, let's keep going. We know that I need to distract myself because I'll get up in my head. All right, let's keep going. Oop, this top drawer here is a little heavy and it might come crumbling down. Okay, let's just use this. It is like 7:45 and I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just kind of winging it right now. I don't feel like getting a lot of things out. And I also broke my mirror, so this is not a good match. It's okay, I'll make it work. Except my concealer is from E.l.f. I will make it work, y'all. It's okay. So if you've been here for a while, you know that one of my previously favorite drugstore priced brands has been Profusion Cosmetics, right? At least this is covering the redness well. I have been working on getting their attention. I have been purchasing a lot of products. I have been tagging them. They have finally started responding and noticing me. I've been promoting their products, just, you know, all the things. I found out very early Thursday morning that they will be doing a Harry Potter collaboration. They hinted at it in a Facebook ad. Well, I mean, hinted at. So the ad was just a video of like swirling smoke against a black background, and then at the very end there was a teeny tiny like Warner Brothers logo and it said Harry Potter. So we know it's going to be Harry Potter. We just don't know what it looks like. We don't know what's in it. I don't think there was a date. And then it didn't say Harry Potter anywhere in the like hashtags or the caption, but you know, if you saw the little logo there at the bottom, then you knew it was Harry Potter. There was one comment when I saw it, and it was just somebody tagging somebody else. And then the other comment is me. So even if you go looking for that ad on Facebook, you'll see just my comment. And I was like, wow, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, I've been promoting you, I have loved your products, and I will no longer be buying it. Like, how can you support that? How? And I know that they love doing collaborations. They recently did the Peanuts 75th anniversary. They have done Jurassic Park and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just all kinds of collaborations. But Harry Potter now, I mean, several years ago, sure, maybe that's your ethics. You're going to support that. Her? No, I can't. I won't support it. It's not okay. So, and it's just, you know, I have been simping for them. It's almost to the point where it was kind of embarrassing how much time and effort I put in to the idea of like, maybe one day I could, you know, have one of my videos reposted by them, or maybe one day if I got enough followers doing like a sponsorship with them or something like that, you know? But all of that is gone because I will never work with them. I will never support them again. And you might think that this is me being a little dramatic, and maybe it is. But first of all, I have borderline personality disorder, so drama is my middle name. It is what it is. I split, and I either love you or I hate you, and right now I hate this company. How dare they? Like, you're gonna give money to that woman, that awful woman. No. It could be the most amazing makeup. They could come out with the sparkliest eyeshadow, the most gorgeous eye palette. Like, no, I won't support it. I can't. And even if they came out with this collection, right, and they said to offset this, like, we're going to donate 50% of the proceeds to the Trevor Project or something, to GLAAD, something. It's just, how, it's 2025. How do you still think it's okay? I just don't get it. I don't. I'm gonna use this teeny tiny here, but, and I guess I should, if you don't know why I'm upset about this, you've probably been living under a rock, but I caught the lid with my feet. But J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, is a horrible human being. She is anti-trans, and she actively works to remove rights from trans people, and she has donated money in UK to create bills in the UK that strips them of their rights. She is a TERF and proud of it, and she has even tried to do the same thing here in the USA. One of my favorite YouTube creators, Luxaria, she is a trans woman, formerly the UK, and she has said in some of her videos that it has gotten so bad over there that she moved, she left, and I don't blame her. I would too if I was in her position. So it's just how somebody can have so much hate for a stranger. Like, to just say your existence, which has no bearing on my life, is so abhorrent to me that I want to take away your rights. Your right to exist offends me so badly that I will pour millions of my money into making your life miserable. Why would somebody do that? I don't understand. And so now Profusion Cosmetics has, with this collaboration, said, we don't care that the person we're giving money to is going to turn around and use that money to take away rights from people just because they're different. Just because they're different. Just because they want to live in this world and survive and be happy. That's it. Just that. What is so wrong with that? What is so wrong with just wanting to live their own lives? I don't understand. I honestly don't. Okay, let's add some more color to this face, shall we? So, with that going on, obviously, I will not be using any of their products anymore on, let's put it this way, I'll need to use their products on camera, but I will not be holding up, like, use this for example. I won't be holding it up to camera where you can see the name. I won't be saying, oh, this is the shade, blah, blah, blah. I won't be tagging them. I won't be, what am I trying to say, guys? I won't be trying to get the brand's attention. I won't be interacting with them. I won't be following them. I will not have anything to do with them anymore. Period. Let's get this blended. And here's the worst part, I think, for me personally. I realized that I use another brand that has actually collaborated with her and the Harry Potter franchise twice, and I knew about it, and I didn't have the same reaction. And the reason is that I rationalized it because it was a little bit different. And let me get this blended and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So you might have guessed because I mentioned the brand earlier. It's Sheglam. So I rationalized using and buying Sheglam because, one, they're not an American company. I rationalized it because I think of them as the same way I do Temu, Wish, Alibaba, these kinds of brands where their profit margins versus their like actual cost per item is so low that it blended all the way that my $4 item probably means that she gets about 2 cents from me buying the product. And if I had purchased from the Harry Potter collection, and the fact that they are already so unethical in other ways, I guess it's like I was already compromising my morals because your girl is on a budget. I rationalized it because I couldn't afford to be that picky. I know, hate me. I hate myself. That's part of why I got so upset, because I realized that the big influencers that can go and make videos about I'm never using this brand or I'll never take a sponsorship from them because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah, they can afford to lose that $10,000 they would have gotten paid from that brand. Why? Because they're already getting thousands and thousands of dollars from ad revenue on YouTube, or they're going on 4 brand trips next week or next couple months. You know, like, sure, they can afford to offend other brands. They get all their stuff for free anyway. My entire income at this point is my SSDI, and I get paid $1,079 per month. So I look at a super inexpensive foreign brand that is probably made using sweatshop workers that are human trafficked, and I look at them doing a Harry Potter collection and think, well, I'm not going to buy from the Harry Potter collection, and my $4 product is so inexpensive that my impact to the brand is basically nothing, because my budget for makeup was probably $10 that month, and I probably bundled it with other things that I desperately needed and put it on a payment plan. God, that's hard to admit. I feel really, really bad, but it's the reality of being so broke, but having goals and dreams and hopes that you rationalize your morality because you can't afford to be. I think if I stopped to research every affordable brand to make sure that they had never done anything that went against everything that I stood for, I couldn't buy anything. And that's the truth. Because either they would be an overseas brand that is using labor practices that I don't necessarily support, they have either collaborated with or donated to a person that I don't support, or they have ingredients from regions that are in locations that don't have practices. I mean, once you go down a rabbit hole, you're going to realize that if it's affordable, there's a reason for it. And it's probably because it doesn't have the most ethical practices behind it. And this isn't excusing my behavior. Obviously, I felt incredibly guilty to the point that I got so sick that I was physically ill very early Thursday morning. So sick that I cried through my therapy session and couldn't film. So guilty that I cried to Richard about it. And I've been so guilty and so upset that I couldn't film until today. But I've been honest with you guys since day one. I have not held anything back from you, which is why I'm making this video now, and why I've completely stopped getting ready or putting anything on my face, because I had to make this video. I had to be honest with you guys and let you know that from this point on, I'm going to do better. From this point on, you will not see me featuring anything from E.l.f. Cosmetics, Profusion Cosmetics, or Sheglam. While I still have to use what I have, this is my pledge to you guys, and I will do better. I will look into things a little bit better. Obviously, I'm still limited on my budget, but at least I will try do a little bit better than I have before. So that's my pledge. Let's keep going. I need to do something. I have to put something on my face. So, gosh, when I say most of my makeup, my daily makeup comes from these brands, I'm not kidding. Okay, we have done a little bit of contour. I'm not going anywhere, so let's see what we can do. I've got like a lilac shade, so I need a makeup wipe. I got something on my hands. All right, so let's just dot this, and then we'll blend it in with something. Let's go about here. Can't tell if I got even amount. That looks better. Excuse me, all of that got my throat a little upset. Oh, I bought lav mics. So for the next video, I will try to set up better audio. All right, let's get this blended, see what shade we get. Okay, that's kind of pretty. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I don't know if the YouTube camera can see it all the way over there, but okay. And I'll top it off with that like glittery blush topper I have. You know what? Okay, so I have not used this on camera before. It's something I've had for a while. It's just your basic like cream corrector palette. I call it a concealer contour palette. It's really a corrector palette from Olauty makeup. It's spelled O-L-A-U-T-Y. It was a Amazon find. One of my best friends, Benson, got it for me. Actually, he got this and this coffin shaped palette holder for me off my wish list, and it's just a cream concealer corrector palette. I don't have a highlighter shade in here. Bummer. Okay, can you say that's the highlighter shade in these? I don't think so. You know what? We can go with, I keep smushing it. Well, let's put a little on my finger and we'll try it for our highlighter shade. Just kind of across the top here. We'll try it there. So you know what's going to happen. Uh-oh, where'd the other lid go? I found it. So it looks like I'm going to be using that Ulta card a little more than I had originally wanted to, but not just. So I found it kind of funny that the mirror that I've been using, the black foldable mirror from Profusion, broke. Yeah. If that's not a sign that I shouldn't be using Profusion anymore, I don't know what is. So I'm going to have to actually find a new mirror too, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to go on a little trip with my friend Lauren. She lives in the bigger city near us, Fresno, and they have a much bigger Ulta. So I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to do that. All right, so I'm gonna use some setting powder. Then we'll go in with our toppers. Actually, I'm gonna set this, and then we're gonna do our eyes, and then we'll go back in. How's that sound? I think that makes more sense. And since it was a little dark, I'm gonna go in with this finishing powder just to set it. I know it's a finishing powder, but it's supposed to be translucent, and it goes in white. So I'm gonna use it to set instead because we were a little dark when we did our foundations, so I think that'll neutralize it. Yeah, I think that's gonna help. So yesterday we went out to the Dollar Tree to get some of the little extra spooky season things to redo this. You know, the green screen was fun to play with, but it was time. Now that we're into spooky season, which is my favorite. I mean, I've always had that kind of soft goth aesthetic going anyway, so I was finally able to pick up a couple things to mix in with the things I already had. Obviously, you guys have seen the skull from my bedroom. I mentioned that I'd already had this coffin palette holder, and then this shelf has been waiting to be, I know YouTube you can't see it, but TikTok can. So I've had this shelf that we've been wanting to hang for years, but we never had a real good place to put it. And so it now holds Sinatra's ashes, and then we're gonna pull out Zombie, Richard's cat. Her ashes are gonna come out and join Sinatra as well. And I've had just this little skull thing. So mixed some of the things that I already had, and then we went and just grabbed some extra little fun things. Eventually, I do want to expand the area where I film. I want to get an actual green screen, something that's held taut that we can get some consistent lighting on. That way, when I do shoot green screen, it's going to be, you know, easier to do so that it's not wrinkled or catching shadows or anything like that. And then I'll actually have, you know, something solid and it won't be as messed up as it was before. So we're working on it. Just slowly. As much as I don't have a budget for makeup, the budget for special effects is worse. But you know, for Dollar Tree, these things are pretty cute. We did find one problem, and TikTok won't be able to see it, but YouTube can. This one I thought was super cute, but I just realized before we started filming, it says pick your poison, but the K is lowercase and everything else is uppercase. It's really funny. Anywho, now that we're powdered down, I'm gonna go in and bronze up just a little bit, and then we're gonna do our toppers. Wait, no, I said we were gonna do eyes. Okay, so we were at the Dollar Tree, and I found this display of these, I'm gonna butcher this, Dia de los Muertos makeup. And this was the very last one, so I snatched it. Because first of all, the packaging is adorable, but second of all, it's metallic purple. Obsessed with purple, and I think this is gonna be gorgeous. And it's an eyeshadow. You know I can't do packaging. I should have had Richard pre-open these. And so obviously I snatched it. Okay, there we go. Literally the last one. So I don't even know what else was in the display, but look. Oh my god, look how cute this is. Look, okay, TikTok, look at this skull, it's so cute. YouTube, look. All right, we have to swatch it immediately. Oh, it's cute. I don't know if it's like super metallic, but I've got some other things that I think would mix with it really nicely. Let me grab those. I'll be right back with you. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I think we draw a base for everything to stick to with our jumbo crayon. This is Wet n Wild, so should we Google them? Hold on. You guys, I googled Wet n Wild x Harry Potter, and instead I found this. Apparently Profusion has done a Harry Potter collab before, and I'm just a stupid ass bitch apparently.
Hi, editing Sabrina here. Apparently I shouldn't be as hard on myself as I'm about to be right now. The release dates for this collection were a little strange, but this is their first collection as far as I can tell, so there was nothing to have missed. But here's the collection, and it doesn't look like I'm missing out on much.
I don't even know what to say right now. I can't tell how old this is. Only started using Profusion when I started doing this. This looks like Wet n Wild is safe. So, I mean, it never occurred to me to even search for these things before because I never would have thought about it. Like, I mean, used makeup before, but following collabs and like really getting to know brands wasn't something I did. I just went to the drugstore, found something that would work, and I just grabbed it. Like, I didn't become a beauty enthusiast really until maybe a couple of years ago. If that, like, like, I bought my Morphe palette in 2016, I think, but even then it was just because I was dating. So I'd say within the last 2 years. So they've done it before. I'll have to do more research, and maybe I'll put stats into the, like, right here somewhere. Maybe this is their second collab, maybe it's their third. I don't know. I will research it and I'll put it in, but let's get this finished before I let guilt take over and I just can't function anymore. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll use the pencil, and then I've got these that we can play with, and I think we'll go with this one because it's a warmer purple, but let's play. So first we'll go in with the pencil and just kind of scribble in the shape that we want. I never know with these, like, how do I get more crayon? We'll see. Blend that out because it creased. We'll just draw in the shape we want and then blend it out. I think I've now got crayons like this in 4 colors. They're just super easy to work with. You just kind of smudge them into what you want them to do. The more you work with them, the lighter they get, less you work with them, and you can layer them up. But they're great when if you want to smoke things out, especially like a bottom lash. So let me do that actually. Let me show you smoking out the bottom lash. You just kind of like that. And then for that, I like to use my pinky because it's smaller, so you can kind of control the line better, like that. And then I just do the same on the other side. All right, so I'm thinking, all right, so what I'm gonna do is your basic halo. So we're gonna do the third, outer third with this one. Inner third, something kind of like that. Outer third, kind of like that. It doesn't have to be very precise because we're gonna go in and blend in the center. All right, and this has got a full rainbow of colors. It's so pretty. And let's see if I can figure out, looks like it says Arousar, Arousar. Again, this was a Amazon find. It was actually a 3-pack. Let me show you. So I got this really pretty pastel shade, this one, and then this. So we're going with this one. And we're just gonna fill in the center, and then we're gonna tap to blend. All right, now we've got it on, and I'm gonna tap with my finger to blend these two together, just gently. All right, and then I think we're just gonna finish it off with some mascara. Let the eyeshadow be the star. What do we think? All right, let's finish this off. I think it's time. Let's do a quick powder. I'm gonna go here. We're just jawline. And then I like to do just at the bridge of my nose. Now we'll sparkle just a little bit. Putting a dot on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna tap it into place. Right where we put the highlighter at the top of my cheekbone. I think I need a little bit more. And at the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose. All right. And then we're gonna do the same with the blush, except I'm gonna go in with the brush just below where I put that. You know what? I think I'm gonna even put a little bit on my fingertip, go right into that inner corner, just for a little extra sparkle. All right. What do you think? I'm getting a little bit closer. I know YouTube, I'm getting there. Sorry. So do you guys know of any other makeup brand scandals, makeup brand ethics that we should be looking into and discussing? Just Freudian. Disgusting is how I feel. Disgusting is what I meant to say. So what should we be talking about? How do you guys feel? Do you think that we should be judging and things like that? Do you think it matters? Do you just not buy those products and still purchase from the brand? What do you guys think? Do you care? Do you think that as long as like other ethics are there? So like, is vegan products more important? Animal testing, American made, sweatshop? What are the issues that are important to you? Do you think a brand should be putting out what their ethics are? Or do you think that they should just put out products and not talk about it at all? Do you think that brands should be getting into like political things? What's your take? So I do have one more item that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. This is from B Color, I think, or B Color. You can tell it's getting late. It's 9 p.m. So this is a boba milk tea lip gloss. It's matcha scented. So hopefully matcha scented for me can go either way. If it's like matcha with sugar, if it's just matcha that smells like tea leaves, but it's got little boba in it. It looks really cute. So we're gonna open that and just go straight bare lips on this one because I have been really mean to my lips. Whenever I get really anxious, just having a hard time mentally, I tend to pull at my lips. And so I really hope that this is like really nourishing because they need it badly. All right. Ooh, look, it's so cute. Little bobas are moving. See? All right. I don't smell sugar. Okay. I don't really smell much at all, honestly. Maybe a little bit of tea. Okay. I mean, there is a scent. I don't know if I would call it tea. It's a little sticky. I don't know if it's really glossy. There was a peach one that maybe would be nicer. I was really hoping for like, you guys had the Winky Lux matcha frat balm. I actually have it down in my drawer. That one's amazing. I've like pretty much worn it completely out. That one smells so good. It even tastes good. I was kind of hoping that this one would taste like that or smell like that. But yeah, I'm not impressed. The idea is cute. The little bobas are cute, but as a lip gloss, not really a fan. But it's from the dollar store. It's $1.25. It is what it is. All right, so that's the finished look. I'm doing a full face without brands that I'm currently pissed off at. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to try and get this edited super fast. I probably won't get it done tonight. Like I said, it's after 9 p.m. but I will work on it tomorrow. So hopefully it'll go up on both YouTube and TikTok tomorrow. That's the goal. By tomorrow evening, hopefully this will be up. It looks like I've been filming for an hour and a half. So, all right, you guys, remember, stay safe, be kind to yourself. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.